Bill Henniger.
Oh, it's not Henniger.
No, it's Henniger.
Henniger, I've been saying it wrong for 2 years.
For 2 years.
And what is you own a CrossFit gym?
Yeah, I've had a CrossFit gym since 2006. Started out in my garage and then moved to Columbus, Ohio. And that gym is the gym that Graham trains in now. And my affiliate is actually in my warehouse.
And now you not only sell equipment, but in my opinion, more importantly, you make equipment.
Yeah, we own our manufacturing. We weld, carpentry shop, all that stuff. So all that stuff's in Columbus, Ohio.
And you got a new facility last year.
Yeah.
You sent an email out. I'm on your email list.
Oh.
You sent an email out and you got a new facility for making stuff.
Yeah, 15,000 square foot facility where we do all of our MIG welding, TIG welding, and all that stuff. So yeah.
Are these made there too?
What's that?
Like the shirts? Like do you have a bunch of kids like
no.
working on sewing machines?
No.
Like
the shirts are all printed on American Apparel, but we print them in Columbus, so they're not imported either.
How did you're sponsored for the games?
Yeah.
Have you been a sponsor every year for the games?
I was a sponsor the last 2 years, and then this year we're the official equipment sponsor, as well as last year, I guess, and we will be for a couple years going forward. But our responsibility this year is basically just to outfit all the regionals all over the world, so Australia, Europe, South America, all that stuff.
So you provided all of the equipment for every regional on planet Earth?
That's correct. There were a few the smaller ones, South Africa and Latin America, where we only sent pull-up rigs. But like Europe and Australia, they got full kit. So exactly what you see out there today is what they got.
And how many employees do you have?
50.
And how many did you have last year?
Probably 20.
And how many did you have the year before that?
Probably 3. I don't know. Something like that, yeah.
Who's your first employee? Is it Katie?
It was Erik Jones. Erik is a pilot now in the Air Force. But he was definitely the first guy that came on. And Katie's probably got like a number 4 on her.
Not the 4th employee?
Yeah.
Were you in the military?
Yeah, I was in the Air Force, Air National Guard, and then obviously Air Force.
And what did you do in the Air Force?
I was in security forces, so I was like a cop.
And
guarded airplanes, you know.
And why did you join the Air Force?
I like the military. I was in the military for 8.5 years, but I just decided that I needed to pick one course or the other, and chose to go civilian route.
You weren't scared to go into the military?
No. I mean, I was 18. I was probably nervous. Yeah. I mean, the drill instructors come out and start screaming at you. I was scared then, but after that, you know, it's good to go.
How many? Do you guys make a lot of stuff that we never see, like prototypes that get made that the CrossFit community doesn't see?
Yeah, not too much. We're pretty open with our Facebook page. It's kind of like our, I don't know, I compare it to the Pontiac Aztec. You know how terrible that car looked? You know, like the Pontiac Aztec, like how terrible that car looked. You know what I'm talking about? Like GM obviously didn't listen to their consumer base when they made that. So like that's my test, is to put it on Facebook and say, hey guys, what do you think? And really they tell me, they kind of steer the ship a lot of times. I figure there's really no reason to keep a bunch of secrets, because they're the people that are going to dictate whether or not it's something that they want or need.
If I have $300 and so let me go back a second. So you're a coach, you're an affiliate owner, and you're a manufacturer of equipment, and you're a retailer of equipment, and you're a sponsor for the games. Basically, you're just immersed in CrossFit shit.
Yeah, tons of CrossFit. Like we're kind of the supply arm for CrossFit, basically.
If I have $300, I've been doing CrossFit for a month, and I want to spend $300, what gear should I get? What's the best way to spend $300 in your opinion to stay fit?
Well, I think if you have $300, the best thing you can do is buy a good weightlifting bar, and then just start to add things a little bit. But if you start out, it's kind of like the bar is the chassis. So you buy a good bar that's going to last you forever, and that may take up, you know, close to that $300. But then, you know, as you acquire more money, you can get rid of the steel plates and go to bumpers. But the bar is something that you should spend money on. You know, it's like trying to run a race with a crappy race car. You know.
Is there any bar that should be left outside, or should every bar be taken care of, like brought inside? And
it's the same way you would treat kind of any steel. You know, pretty much there's no all-weather bar other than the axle. You know, you're not going to break the axle because there's no spinning parts. So you know, if you wanted something for austere environment like out in Afghanistan, then kind of a fixed axle or something like that is best.
But other than that, a bar should be taken care of, brought inside.
Yeah.
There's no outdoor bar.
No, not. I mean, you could. It's not really going to seize up or anything else because it's zinc plated. The bare steel bars would definitely rust like crazy, but yeah.
So you've been in the fitness. I hate to use this term, but bear with me. Maybe you'll choose a different word. You've been in the fitness industry on the retail side or the manufacturing side for 2.5 years. How have you seen it evolve?
I mean, CrossFit's really like changing the game. You know, there's definitely been a paradigm shift. So, you know, people ask me all the time, Bill, who do you sell? Do you sell to CrossFit only? You know, and I think CrossFit's graying the boundaries, you know, for the collegiate world for everyone. And it's crazy. The bars are changing. Everything's becoming more robust. So, like, probably for the last 20 or 30 years, people have been figuring out how to offshore the equipment, which means that when CrossFitters first started dropping bars and plates, they were breaking everything. And so we've onshored the equipment and started making it in Midwest. And then, you know, if something breaks, we can make that change. But definitely everything is like probably 4 to 5 times as strong as it was.
Because it's made in the States and because you can go hands-on?
Yeah, like we can just make changes. We can watch the failures in the field and then we'll adjust for that, you know?
I read your philosophy. I'm not really big into economics and stuff, and I sort of read your philosophy about, and I would even go as far as I've never been like a super patriot, you know. Either.
Yeah.
But then I read your philosophy about making stuff in the United States to create jobs.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the first things that like, it's so simple. Did you come up with that? It kind of like the first thing kind of hit me like, wow, it is important to be a patriot and support, you know, the jobs at home.
I mean, I'm sure that somebody else has a similar model or whatever, but I mean, that's just kind of my thought. And I just think everyone right now is scavenging around trying to figure out how the U.S. can get back on its feet and how we can become a superpower and everything else. And you just look, it's all about like, if you have people that are making things, this is the philosophy, that they have money to spend and they go to the store and spend money, and then the order comes back to the factory and those people continue to have jobs. And so one of the interesting things about this CrossFit community is that they are employing, you know, however many hundreds, if not thousands of people. You know, if some of these companies that are involved in this stuff decided, hey, we're going to make these shoes or these shirts in the United States, it would, you know, automatically kick off however many jobs, you know. I think 250 people touch every shoe made. So like if you're making a shoe, 250 people touch that shoe. This is obviously in China. So if you brought that to the US, you know, one shoe would create 250 jobs. It's pretty simple math, you know. We can't just be a service driven country because you can't export services that easily.
From the people at HQ, one of the strong qualities that I've heard people talk about you is you're a yes guy. Like they just ask something, you're like yes.
Yeah.
Like build that, you're like yes.
Yeah.
And like they just know, like even if you don't know how to do it, they can be like, we need the Eiffel Tower at the games, and you'll be like yes. Yeah,
probably if Greg Glassman called me and said, hey, I need you to helo drop a panda bear in the Home Depot Center, it's probably going to happen one way or the other.
Do you ever get tempted, since you do want to accomplish every goal, do you ever get tempted to go out of your U.S. commitment to doing everything in the U.S.? And do you ever get tempted to go outside, or have you ever wanted something and you find out it's not made in the United States? So
yeah, I mean, there are definitely some items. Shoes, for example, are near impossible to make in the United States. For whatever reason, we've contacted, you know, Red Wing Boots and all these other people in the U.S. to make things like that. There are items that are almost impossible to make in the United States simply because the industry's not there or it's left. A lot of the casting and things like that is not US based, you know, and shoes and textiles and things like that. So it's tough, but kind of as this community grows, one of the things that I've seen are people rise up, you know, like a pattern maker that can make kettlebells is going to come to me and say, hey Bill, I know where we can pour these kettlebells, you know. So you may not win it all at first, but over time, as CrossFit grows, we'll have more bargaining power, and we can just, you know, light switch a shoe factory or something like that, you know.